Hello and welcome to the SATS Year 6 adding and subtracting fractions video, where we'll be going through some practice questions. If you would like a more in-depth tutorial about how we add fractions and subtract them before you attempt these questions, please check out my other video. But in the meantime, let's get started on these questions. So we have question 1. We've got 4/5 add 2/5. So, since the denominators are the same in both fractions, we're going to leave the denominator as 5 in the answer. And then all we need to do is add the numerators, so 4 add 2, which equals 6. So your answer is 6/5. So for question 2, we've got 11/15 minus 7/15. Again, the denominators are the same in both fractions, so we keep it as 15 in the answer. And then you take away the numerators, so 11 minus 7 is 4. So your answer is 4/15. So for question 3, again, same denominator is 80, so the answer is also going to be over 80. So we've got to minus the numerators from each other, so 53 minus 27, and that equals 26. But we can also simplify this fraction. Since they both go into 2, we could divide 26 by 2, which equals 13, and we divide 80 by 2, which is 40. So it must be the same number you divide the numerator and the denominator by. And that gives you a simplified answer of 13/40. But in an exam, you can write 26/80 or 13/40, and you'll still get your marks. So let's go back up to question 2. So let's fill that in, 4/50. Okay, so we've got number 4. So this example is a little different as the two denominators aren't the same. So we've got 2/3 minus 1/6, and we want to find a common denominator, and this will allow us to minus the fractions a lot easier. So what we're going to do is convert 2/3 into a fraction over 6. So how we do that, we're going to times the top and bottom by the same number. So times by 2, times by 2. So now this new fraction is 4/6. So now we've got 4/6 minus 1/6. So 4 minus 1 is 3. And again, we keep the denominators the same. So it's 3/6. This can be simplified into 1/2. This is because we can divide the top by 3, which then gives you the 1. Then you can divide the bottom by 3, which then gives you the 2. So your answer can be simplified to 1/2. But in an exam, you can write 3/6 or 1/2, and you will still get the marks, unless they specify to simplify. But if they don't, then either fraction is fine. So we have question number 5. So we've got 3/8 add 5/24. So what we need to do is give them the same denominator. So since that 8 can also be a multiple of 24, we'll convert this fraction. So what you need to do to get 8 to make 24 is multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply by 3. Whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. So you also got to multiply by 3. So our new fraction is 9/24. And then we've got 9/24 add 5/24. And 9 add 5 equals 14. And we keep the denominator the same, and that's 24. So we've got 14/24, but you can simplify into 7/12. This is because you can divide by 2 at the top and also divide by 2 at the bottom. And 14 divided by 2 gives you 7, and 24 divided by 2 gives you 12. So in exam, you can write 14/24 or 7/12, whatever you fancy. So for question 6, now we've got 3 fractions. So we've got 1/4, add 1/10, add 1/20. So we need to find a common denominator for all of them. So that can be 20, because 4 can go into 20. If you times by 5, it's times by 5, times by 5, because you must do the same as the top. So you've got 5/20, and then you've got 1/10. You need to convert it into a fraction over 20. So what you need to do is times by 2 at the top, times by 2 at the bottom, sorry, and times by 2 at the top as well. So that leaves you with 2 over 20. And then you can just add the 1 over 20 like so. So you've got 5, add 2, add 1, which equals 8. Leave the denominator the same, which equals 20. You can simplify it by actually dividing by 4. So you can divide by 4 at the top and divide by 4 at the bottom. And 8 divided by 4 gives you 2. 20 divided by 4 gives you 5. So your final answer is 2 over 5. Or if you wanted to leave it as 8 over 20, that is fine as well. So for question 7, we have 2 over 5 and 3 over 8. So what we need to do is find a common multiple of 5 and 8 to use this as our common denominator. So if you want to pause the video to have a think about what this number could be, go ahead. In the meantime, the number is 40. This is the lowest common multiple because 5 and 8 both go into 40. So how we do this is that you need to times 5 by 8 to get 40. So whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. So you've got to times the top by 8. So now we've got 16 over 40. And then to get to 8 to turn into 40, what you need to do is multiply by 5. So what you do to the bottom, you must also do to the top. So now you've got 15 over 40. So 16 over 40 add 15 over 40 equals 31 over 40. And this can't be simplified any further, so 31 over 40 is your final answer. So for question 8, and this is the last question we're going to be doing, we've got 1 over 4 add 1 over 5, so we need to find a common denominator. What number does 4 and 5 both go into, the lowest one? And that is 20. So what you need to do to 4 to get 20 is times by 5. So you must also times by 5 at the top. So you got 5 over 20. So what you need to do to 1 over 5 to get it as a fraction over 20, you need to times by 4. And then you also need to times the top by 4. So you've got 5 over 20, add 4 over 20. And that equals, add the numerators, 5 add 4, which is 9. Keep the denominators the same, and that equals 20. So your final answer is 9 over 20. I hope you got loads of practice from these videos. I hope you're feeling a bit more confident adding and subtracting fractions. In the next video, we're going to be looking more specifically at adding mixed numbers. So if you want to learn more about that, tune in for the next video. And in the meantime, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.